want to ask you, in the last 5 or 6 years, what changes have you seen in the restaurant business?
Tamearra, you're
Yeah.
You know what? I mean, it's been an incredible change. The demographic has changed substantially. I mean, from most of our customers were Caucasian, you know, and so you look around the room, the back and the front, and you got 95% that are Caucasian, 2% Black, and then, you know, Indian or whatever. And so now, and okay, so I tell this story, and it has cuss words, but I'm a cuss. So this was probably, like I already talked about the colon. How much worse can it get than that? Huh? But so I had this guy walk into the restaurant. This had to have been, we've been open 10 and a half years, so this had to have been maybe about 6 or 7 years ago. He comes in, he has the gold grill and, you know, the pants sag and da-da-da, not your typical vegan at that time, you know, and so he comes in and he's looking at the menu. He's like, well, I don't like that. He don't like nothing on the menu. I don't even know why he came in, but he was like, I don't eat tofu. I don't eat this. I don't eat that. I said, okay, hold on. I said, let me order you something. And it was our toasty burger. I said, let me order you something. And if you don't like it, I'm going to give you a full refund. Like, don't worry about it. Like, you know. So he was like, all right, he's mad. Like, he's like, all right, you know, I'll get it. And then, and so then he purchases it. He walks outside, probably not even 30 seconds later, he calls and he says, hey, give me another one of those motherfuckers. That shit was good than a mother. It was hilarious. But if that's just to kind of say how the demographic is changing and has changed, you know, that people are now open. Because when we opened, and then definitely when we started at the farmers market in 2006, like, vegan was my last name and who solely, like, you know what I mean? Like, they didn't understand it. People understood vegetarian. They did not understand vegan, nor did they want anything to do with it when it was explained to them. So especially selling like Louisiana Creole food, they laughed at us at the farmers, but that's not gonna work, and da-da-da. We got all the comments and everything. And so developing over the years, you know, we built our reputation off of flavor. And then people realizing that, oh, greens, oh, potato salad, something, these two like staples in Louisiana, which everybody loves for the most part. Who doesn't love, you know, Southern cooking? And they realized that it can be delicious and not have the animal products in it. But it took a lot of teaching and a lot of samples, you know, a lot of samples. And I would tell them at the farmer's market, I'm like, well, here, just take it with you, you know, while you walk around and figure out what you want. And it was kind of always the same. I'd watch them, and it was kind of always the same kind of setup. We'd give them the sample, which was normally potato salad and greens, and they'd walk, and then they stop and they go, and then they come back and say, what was that? What was that? But anyway, it took a kind of a lot of teaching. So then when we opened in 2009, they still didn't understand it. They came in asking for chitlins of all. I'm like, who eats chitlins anymore? But they're coming in asking for chitlins or, you know, chicken and all these things. I'm like, and he's like, wait, you're a soul food restaurant and you don't have this and you don't have that. I'm like, no, we're a vegan restaurant. Well, what is the, you know, da-da-da. So it just took a lot of teaching. And then it was really the community that built us, you know, word of mouth. We wasn't really doing like social media and all that stuff, you know, really. We were, but not really, you know what I'm saying? That's not how we really promoted ourselves. It was really the community that came in, the vegans and non-vegans that was like, look, go eat that, like, it's good, that, you know, it's good, you know, and I'm not a vegan, but I'll eat here, you know, 2 or 3 times a week, not just to give my body a break, but because the food is good. So they had to submit to the fact that, like, the food is good. Like, and I always tell them, I'm like, look, good food is good food. Like, it doesn't have to have these things in it. You don't have to rely on these animal products to make your food taste good. You can actually use seasonings and imagine basil. Like, you can actually use these things to, like, season your food. But over the years, it has been incredible. The change has been absolutely incredible. We get the the young folks that come in who are like health conscious. The older people that come in, that's like, my doctor told me I had to change, so tell me what this is about, and it's amazing. It is so amazing. And, I hear stories like, they're coming to me and they're saying, I was worried about my husband because he wouldn't eat any vegetables, and now he sends me here to get your greens. Things like that is just like, probably you don't set out to kind of make the impact that you eventually do just by doing your service, your calling, which I'm big on callings and following your spirit and things like that. So, I realized what it was doing for the community and then beyond just by the feedback and people letting me know how it's changing their lives. It's an amazing, and I'm so grateful to be in a position where we can impact, so many, so.
And before I pass it to you, you just met with Oprah in Atlanta?
Oh yeah, yeah. So that was amazing. So Oprah is doing a 2020 Vision Your Life tour, Your Life in Focus, and so it's sponsored by Weight Watchers, and so Weight Watchers chose Solely Vegan as one of their partners, and they chose our okra gumbo to kind of be a Weight Watchers favorite or whatever. So that whole experience is just kind of amazing, and then also kind of a testimony to kind of where vegan is now. Like you have to like see us. Like there's no way that you don't see us and recognize us and then learn what's going on, because there's so much information out there. And like I'm probably jumping ahead a little bit, but even documentaries like this, I believe in kind of meeting people where they are. So to talk to them on their level and say, hey, I know you think this and that, but guess what? You can get all of these same nutrients from this, that, and the other, because it's a learning, right? Because what you're doing, you're teaching, and so it's a process. And so it eventually grows and all that. But yeah, super cool.